The Season 2 finale with a monumental conclusion to the series, with some awesome linkbacks to past episodes of Star Trek. But has the show done well enough to get a Season 3? Hey everyone, I'm Nick and welcome back to Sci-Finatics. Well, I'm here for the very last 2 episode reviews for Star Trek Prodigy, episodes 19 and 20 of Season 2, which are entitled Ouroboros. This is the double part finale to Prodigy, where we see everything come full circle and get us, I guess, in some ways, sort of back to the beginning again, which is what the Ouroboros is in mythology and so forth. It's that, I think it's wrapped up in that image of the serpent or the snake that kind of eats its own tail sort of thing. So it's sort of like coming full circle. The end becomes the beginning. Episode 19 shows the locals overthrowing Ascencia, and she's not going to go down lightly. She's going to wipe out the whole planet anyway out of spite because she lost. So she's really gone from trying to protect Solum to just going, well, screw everybody. If I can't have my own way, I'm just going to trash the whole planet. She's completely gone off the deep end here. We see the kids splitting up into kind of 3 different away teams sort of mission sections with Dal and Gwyn, Jank and Murph and Iltheron, and Wes, Magell, Zero and Rock obviously trying to use Ascencia's technology to open the portal to get the protostar back to Tars Lamora. But at the same time, Ascencia is trying to open the rifts to take over the galaxy with her force of quickly made ships, where we see rifts opening to Earth. And we basically see a lot of split up stuff here with a spire fight going on between Ascencia and Gwyn, Rock and Wesley and everything working on the science part of the experiment to open up the portal working out so they can get the ship back to Tars Lamora. There is so much technobabble in this episode. This episode felt like it was really moving along so fast. It's sort of almost like they'd crammed in sort of 2 episodes worth of plot into 1 episode here. This, you sort of go, whoa, you sort of got to keep up with all the technobabble of what's going on. And we see a big showdown between Gwyn and Ascencia, and we've got Murph fighting Dreadnought, and there's lots of falling going on in the fight between Ascencia and Gwyn. They seem to fall off the spire from great heights on a number of different occasions, but just seem to kind of brush it off. Like they take a bit of a fall and a roll, but they're like falling like what seems like several stories, and then landing on the ground, but they just get up and start fighting again. So I guess Valnacot physiology is a little bit tougher than human physiology, perhaps. The kids managed to achieve their mission here on the spire, closing the rifts and opening the portal where they can get the protostar back to Tars Lamora again. Gwyn having that last showdown with Ascencia, which was quite a cool fight scene, I thought, between these two. And the Valnacot also supporting Gwyn with their energy to finally kind of defeat Ascencia. But even though Ascencia gets defeated, they've still got to work out what they're going to do about a massive loom swarm that is coming through the rifts and is about to devour Solum. In our last episode, we get a cool kind of showdown with the protostar and the Voyager flying through the portal there to get the protostar back to Tars Lamora, whilst at the same time fighting this huge loom swarm, which is quite exciting. I'm glad to see that the navigation process, get through the portal and everything, was helped out by Jillian the whale. I'm glad that Jillian got a bit of glory in this last episode, because you think, well, what's the whole point in having a gigantic water tank on a starship with a whale in it if you're not going to utilize them effectively, and show just exactly what the skill set of cetacean ops is. They get the protostar back to Tars Lamora, and they work out that they have to reset and do a memory wipe of Hollow Janeway. She gets reset, but not before a copy is made first. And Dal makes sure that he places that comm badge right in the exact place they found it back in the first episode of Season 1. I like the whole coming full circle of their story. We get a big montage of the entire series showing the protostar, back in its place again. Everybody returns on Voyager, and the timeline is restored. The Loom flee. Gwyn is made whole again. She doesn't need her armband anymore, and it appears that Solum's been saved. We also get a lovely scene in this episode between Wes and Beverly, where he sort of apologises that he's been a bit absent and hasn't been, present in her life that much because of his traveller duties. And I love the fact that we get to have an introduction here between Wes and Jack Crusher, who obviously we meet in Star Trek Picard Season 3, just to kind of see exactly where this is in the timeline, which I think that was a little great moment. After they get back to Earth, Janeway's going to take an early retirement, which means Chakotay takes command of the Voyager. The kids are back at Starfleet Academy. Now we get a really good anchoring of exactly where all these events take place within the Star Trek timeline. Because it's First Contact Day, we see the synth attack on Mars happen as we did in the flashbacks of Star Trek Picard Season 1. So I love the fact that we've grounded the series here within the other canon events of the Star Trek timeline, and just where chronologically this whole story sits. We see a very, very earnest briefing from Jellicoe at Starfleet HQ, where obviously Janeway is having to be recalled. She can't take an early retirement yet, and obviously they're about to have some massive upheavals in the Federation with the whole synth ban going into effect and everything, and everybody requiring to come out of retirement or, put up their hands for extra work to take up the slack where all of the work that the androids previously did. Great that we saw the continuity in costuming here, with the costumes that Jellicoe and Janeway were wearing match the ones from Star Trek Picard Season 1, which we saw the flashbacks for the same period of time. I love the fact that the new protostar gets built here, and it's named the USS Prodigy, the first of its class, and the kids get field commissions as ensigns with holographic Command Janeway in command. Love the fact that they got cool new uniforms, but geez, I mean, I would have just liked to see them in the regular Starfleet uniforms rather than these sort of variations. I don't know why Starfleet officers that serve on board the Protostar need to wear different uniforms than everybody else, because obviously we've already had a new uniform introduction that we see Jellicoe and Janeway and everything wearing there, which match those uniforms that we saw during the flashbacks of Picard Season 1. That's fantastic, but why do we need the kids to wear different uniforms again? Can't they just wear the same ones, Otherwise, it seems really weird to me that you've got, so many different starships flying around the Federation and Starfleet with everybody wearing a slightly different uniform. There's been a bit of a modification of the bridge of the Protostar where it isn't just the captain's chair now, we've also got a first officer's chair as well. Dal kind of steps to the side and says, hey, Gwyn, you deserve to be acting captain. I'll be your number one. I'm not quite ready for command responsibility yet, which feels like a nice dynamic. I think that Dal is full of enthusiasm, but I think Gwyn deserves a little bit of extra pip on her collar, I think, with Dal supporting her as her XO. And the ship launches off to partake in, who knows what missions in the future here with Holo Command Janeway to help the kids out there. So I think it's a nice place to finish the series. The series was fantastic. I really enjoyed Season 2. I thought it did a great job to build upon what had been established in Season 1, and it felt much more like a Star Trek series because it happened on a Starfleet ship with the Voyager-A, with a proper crew, with adults and everything, Starfleet officers. It wasn't just a bunch of ragtag kids having hijacked a ship and just flying around doing random stuff. It was actual proper sort of Starfleet mission. So I love that aspect of the show. I know there's a lot of people out there who are kind of saying, oh, we might get a Season 3 of Prodigy. I think if there was to be a Season 3 of Prodigy, I think that would be fantastic. I would definitely be all for that. But I think in order for that to happen, Netflix needs Prodigy to have done absolute gangbusters in terms of its viewership on the platform there. And I just don't think that the viewership is there to support a third season. One thing I kind of have a very good test bed in, I've found over the years of running this channel, is that I can always tell how popular a Star Trek show is just by the very nature of how many views my videos get. I know that my views went absolutely through the roof when Star Trek Picard Season 3 was on, because it had so much support and so much interest and everything. Everybody was loving every second of it. Whereas I've got to say, the views for my Prodigy videos have been a bit lackluster. So I think that kind of just shows that the overall interest just unfortunately probably isn't there for Netflix to greenlight a third season, even though a greenlit third season would be absolutely fantastic. I would be very surprised if it actually happened. So 2 seasons is most likely all we're going to get for Star Trek Prodigy. So this being my very last time, I guess I'll probably be talking about it. Unless an absolute miracle happens and some sort of announcement, they find some extra money down the back cushions of a couch somewhere and Season 3 gets greenlit. I hope it happens, but I'm not holding out any hopes for it based on what my impressions have been of the general level of audience excitement about this show and its sort of general level of viewership. But what did you guys think? Did you guys enjoy the second season of Star Trek Prodigy? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know everything you think. Do you think it deserves a season 3, or do you think they told a good story? It ended in a satisfying place where you could quite leave it there and go, yep, I'm satisfied that it told its story. The story came full circle. I'm very happy to leave it there. Or would you like, maybe you'd like another animated Star Trek adventure from the Hagemans, but something completely different, telling a different story within the Star Trek universe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section and we'll get chatting about that. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Sci-Finatics yet, please remember to do so. Click on that big subscribe button to stay current and informed about everything going on in the Star Trek world, coming at you from everywhere that it happens to be announced from. Be sure to check out my merch in the merch store. Plenty of cool designs in there. There's still a sale going on until the 5th of August. You can pick up any of my t-shirts or mugs or hoodies or caps or stickers or anything like that at 20% off discount. So be sure you take advantage of that sale while it's on. I'll be back very soon with my next video. I'll catch you guys soon.